Hi, I'm Rajat from Shhots AI, and in this video, I'll give you a complete tour and demo of how to virtually stage your real estate properties. We have recently released AI Real Estate Studio on Shhots. So once you sign up on Shhots, you can see it on the left-hand panel, a new tab is being added, and within this tab, you can create new properties. You can like fill in the name of the property, address, number of beds, baths, price. All these details are just to keep track of which property you are creating and which one you're editing. So for this demo, I have created a property already by simply uploading all the images of the property. What Shhots Studio does is that it will organize all your images into different categories. So be it, for example, here you can see exterior front, we have living room images, kitchen area images, dining images, bedroom, bathroom, and so on. And then whichever image you want to edit, you can simply click and open it, and then you will see the entire list of options that we have here. So we'll start with the outdoors. I have already done a few generations here with sky corrections and perspective corrections. But let's move our focus on this right side panel. So here, AI will self figure out which part of the home it is. So for example, this one is exterior front. If it doesn't read it right, you can always choose the right one and then move on. We have three options primarily: correction, staging, and removal. Within each option, there are multiple other presets that you can choose from. The best part about virtually staging using Shhots AI is that you don't have to figure out prompting. There is no multi-step workflow. So everything just happens in a single view and dashboard, and your generations just come out right in a few seconds. This is also cost efficient, time efficient. So if you're a real estate agent, you have a ton of things going on in your life. So I think staging, creating walkthrough videos shouldn't be a messy, costly, and time-consuming part of it. So let's just see what all you can do. So for example, with this image, there is a recommended thing. So it reads that the image is looking a little bit tilted. So you can do a perspective correction. You can do a window pull. You can sharpen, denoise, upscale to 4K. You can do a reflection removal. So these are, let me just zoom in onto this. So we have a bunch of presets within correction. So we have enhance, exposure, white balance, color fix, perspective, window pull, sharpen, denoise, upscale to 4K, reflection removal, sky replacement, day to dusk, lawn, repair, and greening. I think day to dusk is a very in-demand staging feature. So let me just click on day to dusk and then generate. There is also an option for you to write anything specific. So let's say you want to remove a tree, you want to straighten the front porch, or there is any specific result and requirement that you expect out of the image. You can simply write it here in plain text and then hit generate. The moment you do that, your generations will start appearing right here below. So one more thing that happens is once your images are generated, you can click on this compare button here, and then you can slide between what was it like before and then what got generated. Similarly, you can see it here. So this generation just takes a few seconds. I have done a bunch of things here. So I have done perspective, window pull, sky replacement. The best part about this staging through Shhots Studio is that you can do one part of your edit and then pick the same image and then run your next set of edits on top of it. So let's just see what our generation looks like. Yeah, so I just clicked on this and now I can click compare. So this is how the home looks in the original image. And then once I do a day to dusk twilight, boom, your sky and everything has changed. I'll just click on done, download, and let me just open it here. Okay, so this is the final image that we created with just one preset, right? I'll just go back into the, okay. So now this is done. Let me just go back into the property and we'll see the other parts of staging options that we have. So let me pick this view of the kitchen. I like this view because it shows you a lot of things that are moving parts. Like for example, you can see windows, you can see outside the windows. There's kitchen basin here with an island counter. So we'll do a staging preset on this. So once I click on staging, I have two options that come out. One is a preset, and then within preset you have a bunch of styles. We have three presets in staging. You can either stage an empty room, you can restyle a room. So in case it is already staged, in case it's a real picture with a lot of furniture there, you can restyle it, you can occupy to vacant. So you can also vacant a room and then start staging it from ground up. So for example, for this particular for this particular image, we have an empty room. So I'll just pick that, and then under the style we have a bunch of presets styles. For example, you can do a modern staging, Scandinavian, luxury, coastal, farmhouse. The best part is that for each and every client, you can customize it and show it to them and show that what is the actual potential of that property is. So for example, for this one, let's just go with luxury. You have an option here to create multiple variations. I'll just stick to one. And then in case you want anything specific, for example, you want this flooring to be redone, you want the wall colors to be something specific, you want the lightings, fixtures to be anything specific, you can write all that here. So one thing I noticed in this image is that the flooring here is not good at all. So I'll just write that do wooden flooring in this living room. Oh, okay, that's all. And I'll just hit generate. So here you go. Usually it takes about 30 seconds. And within that time frame, the staging image would be ready. Okay. So here we go. This was the original image. And then once we are done with the staging, so if you notice it, the windows, what is outside the windows, the position of everything in this kitchen stays as it is. And on top of it, the staging is done. So this is very close to whatever you would get done manually with an editor. So let's just click on compare button and then see what all happened with this one pull. I'll just click done and then download this and open it in full view for you to see. Okay, so this is how this final staged living room looks. I'll go back and I'll show you the last option here. So let's say you want to remove something, okay? I'll again go back and pick another property where there's something to remove, and then we'll see that example. So let's just go to this bedroom, and I've done a few staging options here. For example, there is a restyled room here with three different kind of interiors, and let's say this is the original image. So I want to go into removal, make it occupied to vacant. There is also an option for object removal, declutter, privacy blur. So in case there are people in the picture, there is something with personal details in the picture, you can just blur it. Declutter is basically if the living room has a lot of stuff lying around, you can pick declutter. Or object removal is basically if you want to remove something specific, you can just pick object removal, write that product object down here, and then hit generate. So I'll just go with remove furniture, occupied to vacant, hit generate. Okay, so this is now in the process, and here is the result. So this was the original image, and then this is what it turns out after we vacant it. Now you'd notice one thing, that in this image there's a power plug here, and then in the one where it is removed, it still exists right there. There's a small view of the doors here. So the structure of the property stays as it is throughout, be it a kitchen counter, be it lighting fixtures or anything like that. And anything that is part of the original structure of the property doesn't get changed. That is how we have built it. So these are all the options that you get inside Shhots AI Real Estate Studio. You get to correct images, stage homes and rooms, and then remove objects. The best part about this entire workflow is that it is entirely prompt free, and then we have also made sure that your original property stays untouched and as it is, so that if a potential buyer or renter is going to look through your images, they are sure that they are looking at something which really exists. And then you can add a disclaimer on top that these are virtually staged to show you the potential of the property. Now, lastly, there's another thing that we'll do a separate video on, which is a property walkthrough. But what you can do is you can create 15-second long property quick tours for people to see and get a quick virtual scripted video for them to learn more about the property. And we'll do a separate video on that. But if you are an agent, do try out the real estate studio on Shhots AI. Use agent 20 code to get 20% off on your first purchase. And if you have any questions, any recommendations for us, any feedback for us, get in touch with us in comments or in the contact page. I have a link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and we are more than happy to build the right tools and features for in the future. Thank you so much. Bye.